you eat. This is something I'll tell you it later. Okay. First of all, we'll go according to the definition of WHO. What is the definition of health? Today, WHO describes positive health as health is a state of complete physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being of an individual, and not merely an absence of a disease or infirmity. This is a WHO definition, but the ideal definition of health should be: when will you call yourself healthy? So these are the parameters. These are very basic parameters to call yourself healthy. You should have good appetite, smooth digestion, easy excretion, lightness in the body, and contained response of all your organs. Sound sleep and fresh awakening, normal metabolism resulting in vigor, complexion, longevity, and elation. So these are the things required to nominate someone as healthy person. So if any of this is missing, you are not healthy. So to achieve all these things, there are certain things you should follow. It can be divided broadly on your diet, activity, behavior, and your daily chores, what you do. So we'll start from the beginning. I mean, when you get up in the early morning. So awakening. A healthy person should rise in the morning around 48 minutes before sunrise. This time is called as Brahma Muhurta, and it is good for acquiring knowledge. It is ideal for introspection, studies, and spiritual elation. One should think about one's own body and actions. The food taken at previous night should be fully digested. One should respond to our natural urges and never suppress or force them. Second important thing is the diet. A lot of importance is attached to the food and diet, as it is a root cause of health. It is what you eat. Food and water are like samhita, holy fire of wood, what is offered in the yajna of your internal fire. Internal fire is your digestive fire. Hence, one should be vigilant about the quality, quantity, proportion, purity, and timing and the environment which you have your diet. I'll explain all these things in detail: the quality, quantity, proportion, purity, and the timing. The quality, food which results in the well-being, the quality should be suiting to you. It should be compatible, uncontaminated, non-adulterated, warm, fresh, acceptable, and healthy. I hope this food is available in Mumbai. This kind of food. Quantity, it should depend upon the intensity of the Agni. Agni is actually the form of hunger, your appetite. Hunger indicates that the previous ingested food is digested. So that is a signal that the previous food is digested, so that you can have another meal. Heavy things should be avoided and should not be consumed further on filling half fullness of your stomach. This is when you are healthy, your body gives you signals ki when you start eating, the body gives you signals ki you are full now. So after we get that signal, we should stop eating heavy foods. However, light things may be consumed up to the satisfaction till you get the feeling of satiety. So this is a broadly, you can explain it like one-third of the stomach should be filled with solid food, one-third with liquid, and one-third should be left empty. There is no hard and fast rule. Actually, when you have a balanced diet, these all things come into. You don't need to actually measure it. The second is a proportion. Proportion of different preparation is indicated according to the seasonal variations. See, your proportion of food should differ in summer, in winter, and in rainy season. In winter, you can eat more. In summer, you will eat less. The professional and of the individual. Again, the profession would determine what proportion of food you should eat. Again, in the geographical situation where you are based on. So the time, the interval between the intake of food should not be less than 3 hours, and should not exceed more than 6 hours. This is, and ideally you should not eat before have at least a gap of 3 hours and not more than 6 hours. It's an environment. By environment, what I mean is food should be taken with clean hands, in clean vessels, quiet atmosphere, and with slow mind. It should be warm and compatible. This is very important. Food should be consumed with concentration, but never hurriedly or lazily. Food should never be criticized. This is again very important. It should be and served by people who maintain cleanliness and have affinity to you. Before taking food, one should see that other persons at home and even pets have consumed their food. Your nutrition can determine how you look, act and feel. So proper nutrition and healthy eating habits can increase the resistance to the disease and also promote wellness. After this, we'll come to the exercise part of it. Exercise plays a very important role. Exercise brings with it many benefits for the individual. The person feels fitter, healthier and more able to cope up with the daily stresses of life. Exercise also improves the body shape and the muscle tone, both of which are great moral boosters. The ability to have self-discipline to keep a regular exercise regime is also important. Another aspect of exercise is that it distracts the individual from the worries in general, and it contributes to the psychological well-being of the individual. It is, however, necessary to be careful while exercising. It is always best to take the doctor's advice before beginning any exercise program. It is also important to exercise in moderation and at a comfortable place. Do not keep exercising if there is chest pain or if you feel dizzy, lightheaded or fatigued. Again, the next important thing is the sleep hygiene. It brings the body to a state of rest and recuperation and restores the body equilibrium. Sleep for 6 to 8 hours daily on an average is okay. Actually, this timing again is a very has a very varied range, because 6 to 8 hours, if you see Albert Einstein, he used to sleep for more than 8 to 10 hours, and if you see Gandhiji used to sleep for less than 4 to 5 hours. So again, it differs from personality to personality. Both are normal. There is nothing hard and fast rule in that. See, when you wake up, I will take interactive session at the end, others will get disturbed. Take it, no problem. Have a set of rigid time for going to bed and getting up. Do not eat full meals before going to sleep. Exercise moderately daily. Do not take stimulants like alcohol, tea or coffee before going to bed. Do not sit up and work in bed. Take a warm bath before going to bed. Make sure you are comfortable in your bed or bedroom. No, relaxation. Relaxation does not mean lying around and doing nothing. Nor does it mean reading a book or watching TV. It is a process of systematically relaxing your group of muscle until whole body is relaxed. Progressive relaxation is one of the most commonly used techniques, which was developed by Mr. Jacobson. According to this, at the heart of the theory is the fact that body tenses under stress. The body tension increases as subjective experience of anxiety. So the body tension is reduced by muscular relaxation, which thereby reduces your anxiety. The sequence of relaxation involves tensing and then letting go. So the first step towards good physical and mental health is to install healthy habits in yourself and your family. This step will help you to prevent illness and promote wellness. If you imagine that health is a God-given gift and does not need your inputs, you will neglect health and take a step towards illness. Symptoms will be followed by medical ailments. This will now require a secondary prevention. If you still don't see the writing on the wall, or behave like an ostrich, like dig your head in the sand and imagine that since you can't see illness, can't spot you and nail you, you are in danger. Ailments will become chronic and you will now need a tertiary prevention. So to avoid this, take the first step towards health by adopting health promoting behavior. Thereafter, keep taking these steps every day. The benefits are huge. A fit body and a sound mind. Yeah, we can go for your question.